Okay,
It's like the
input,
alignment of it.
let's do it.
Sorry.
Okay. Did you guys know that distant ancestors of humans did not have non-contagious diseases such as cancer, heart disease, and diabetes? It has also been found that there weren't as many infectious diseases, although that was the #1 cause of death at the time. Today, cancer and heart disease are the leading causes of death in the United States. So what calls for this major difference in health between modern humans and our ancestors? One crucial factor has been going from an existence as hunter-gatherers to a lifestyle that's more sedentary with a diet of highly processed foods. Our ancestors were foragers, which is defined as going from place to place, searching for things that you could eat or use. Lucky for us, gathering edible wild plants for an individual's personal or family consumption is permitted in the state of Pennsylvania, according to PA state forest rules and regulations. So we can be more like our ancestors in that way. I just started learning about foraging and trying to do it, so I'm not an expert on foraging at all. I thought this would be a good opportunity to research it, and after researching the basics, I feel ready to share some key information with you guys, and I would like to convey the value and accessibility of foraging today by sharing some of its benefits, how a beginner can get started, and 2 local plants and their uses. So let's start by talking about some of the main benefits. Foraging can save you money. We all know that grocery prices are expensive, and they're only getting more expensive by 3.2% in 2026, according to the USDA's Food Price Outlook. Foraging can supplement some of the grocery costs. Organic berries and greens can be some of the most expensive items on a grocery list, and there are actual wild edible plants in Pennsylvania that you can pick for free. I found a black cherry tree in my parents' yard. And then another interesting fact is that you can actually make money from foraging. My coworker told me about mushroom foragers selling to local chefs if you get skilled enough and know what to find and where to find it. Another way it saves money, you can dry herbs to make tea instead of buying tea. There's a lot of weeds in our area that are actually herbs that can be used for tea. Also, foraging positively impacts well-being. According to a study called A Systematic Review of Foraging as Lifestyle, Livelihood, and Landscape Management Strategy, forage foods are often fresher and more nutritionally diverse than store-bought food. Even though they're smaller, they're more nutritionally dense and varied than modern food, which is large, but has a lot of the nutritional content, like bred out of it, basically. Foraging may offer humans intangible rewards on effort invested, including mental well-being and social cohesion, which are difficult to economically quantify, but are integral to existence. So it provides humans with a need that money can't buy. And then there was also a study done on humans and great apes comparing our dental health. And humans were found to have a higher prevalence of cavities, gum disease than great apes, who are still foragers. Okay, so now that you're aware of how foraging can benefit you, you might be wondering how you can get started. So let's talk about that. Picture this as an AI-powered app that has recently gained popularity, where you can take pictures of plants, and it will tell you the plant's health, what it's called, and so forth. Books are obviously a good resource. I got some books out for this project. They had some at the Hack Library on foraging. And then the Horn Farm Center for Agricultural Education in York. I saw that they have monthly foraging walks led by a wildlife expert. It's $25 per person, but it said that they do have a sliding scale as well. So that could be a good way to get started if you don't feel comfortable just going out and doing it by yourself. There are also some safety and legal considerations for beginners. The number one rule of foraging, according to Ellen Zacco, author of How to Forage for Wild Foods Without Dying, is to never put anything in your mouth unless you're 100% sure what it is. Also being aware of pesticides on plants that you might find, and then be aware of rare, threatened, and endangered plants. The full list can be found on the Pennsylvania Code website. Also, protected areas or private property that you should not go looking for plants. Like wildwood, you can't take anything from there because it's a nature conservancy.
I love one.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Hopefully this gives you more of a starting point if you are interested. And now let's look at 2 regional plants of our area. Everyone should be familiar with dandelions. They grow in every single state of the United States, although they are actually native to Europe. Every part of the plant is edible, and they are perennial wildflowers, which means that they regrow from their root system every spring, so you need to replant them. Stinging nettle is another regional plant, also a perennial. You do have to harvest it wearing gloves because the stem has hairs which release a chemical that stings you when the hairs are broken. But if you briefly boil it in hot water, the stinging chemicals lose their potency. It is a local superfood that could replace spinach or greens because it has a lot of minerals and vitamins. Central PA has wild plants that you can harvest during every season, and you're probably familiar with more than a few of them. Our best health is in our own hands, and foraging is part of the solution to decreasing the deadly preventable diseases that are rampant in American society. I have told you some benefits of foraging, how a beginner can get started, and 2 regional plants you might come across. I hope you found this information relevant and maybe even inspiring, and I hope to see you guys outside. Thank you.